Om. 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 Om Sahanao Avatu Sahanao Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Okay, today's first topic is of Unit 02, and the topic is Introduction. We are starting now Bhagavad Gita from chapter 1 in this satsang group. And what I would say is now, as you know, in the Gyan Yoga Sadhan, we have got three stages. Number one, Shravanam. We listen, we read, and then is Mananam. We try to understand whatever we have listened, whatever we have read. We try to clarify that everything what I read or listened, I understood, which means I agree with each and every sentence I have gone through. That is called manan in true sense. So, which means the first one, you're just listening, reading. Second one, you accept those things which you have read. And the third thing is, so second becomes knowledge. And the third thing becomes nididhyasan. Now you are reflecting on those information. You start practicing that. Then it becomes your wisdom. And in Sanskrit, we call vigyan. So don't try to stay in Shravan, go to Manan. Okay, let's start here. Introduction. To truly understand the Bhagavad Gita, this is very important actually to understand. You must go beyond just reading the words. You need to imagine and feel the story of the Mahabharata as if it is happening all around you and within you. See yourself as Arjun standing in the middle of the battlefield of life, facing your own fears, confusions, and responsibilities. This is what I always say, visualize and feel. When Lord Krishna speaks in the Gita, feel as if he is speaking directly to you with love, wisdom, and care. Visualize him standing before you, guiding you through your challenges. Only when you connect with the Gita in this deep and personal way, it becomes real because you are emotionally attached to Bhagavad Gita. It will no longer be just a scripture. It will come alive in your heart and guide your everyday life. Now that we have this understanding how to read Bhagavad Gita, let us move forward with a fresh spirit. to study the Bhagavad Gītā, to explore life deeply, and to discover our true self. So, what I'm trying to say here is don't just stay in Shravanam, we need to go into Mananam and then to Nidhi Dhyasan. Listen with an open heart. Let me share with you a timeless truth now. When I say listen with an open heart, it means make sure your mind is clear. You do not try to filter the information. Whatever I am explaining to you, it must be received by you directly as it is. After that, you analyze. That is mananam. Live in the world, but do not become of the world. Very important statement. Live in the world, but do not become of the world. You must live your life, work, eat, laugh, and play among people. Enjoy your life. Be a part of society. Fulfill your duties. But do not let your heart get caught in the net of worldly illusions. Do not let the world live inside you. What does that mean? It means do not let desires, greed, jealousy, ego, and endless wants occupy your mind and disturb your peace. So, what is our main objective? Our mind should be quiet and peace all the time. Be like the lotus flower. It grows in water, but the water does not stick to its petals. You too must remain untouched by the ups and downs of the world. Always remember, everything in this world is changing and disappearing. Nothing is permanent in the world. This life, this world, this drama, it is all like a beautiful dream. People come and go, joys come and go, troubles come and go. Nothing stays forever. So do not cling to anything. If you hold on tightly to what is temporary, you will suffer because you get attached to that. But if you become detached, not in a cold or uncaring way, but with inner wisdom, you will see clearly how most people are deeply attached to small, trivial things. You will notice how this attachment causes them so much pain and stress. And then you will laugh, not at them, but at yourself, because you too were once like that. You were also running after little pleasures, worrying about small things, thinking that the world was everything. But now you are waking up. This is the magic of the Bhagavad Gita. It speaks directly to the human heart. It understands human problems and gives human answers. That is why it has been a source of light and guidance in India for thousands of years. And today, even across oceans and continents, millions of people are drawn to it. The Gita has become the most translated scripture in the world. With the help of modern technology like the internet, its sacred message reaches every corner of the globe. Just imagine if you type Bhagavad Gita on Google, you get almost a million results. Is it not that amazing how popular it is? But here comes a deeper truth. But here comes a deeper truth. Although the Gita is very well known, it is not deeply understood. People know the name, but they do not know the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Just like in chapter 2, verse number 29 of the Gita, it is said, some see this self here is Atman, as amazing. Some speak of it as wonderful, and some hear of it with wonder. Yet, even after hearing, no one truly understands it. This means that people may read the Gita, listen to talks, or even quote its verses, but very few actually understand what it is trying to teach. Even fewer live with those teachings. Why is this so? I mean, we have a issue, so we are trying to understand this issue. Why is this so? Bhagwan Shri Krishna himself says in chapter 7 of verse number 3, out of thousands of people, hardly one strives for perfection. And among those who strive, only one may truly know me in truth. And here we have seen the example ourselves. In this session, how many people are coming? So you see now, a spiritual realization is a rare gem. Many people live their whole lives without ever feeling the need to improve themselves from within. Most are just following the crowd, doing what others do without ever stopping to ask, who am I? What is the purpose of my life? How can I be free from suffering? Vedant and the Gita asks us to look inside, not outside. But because this path is subjective, it's not objective, it is subjective. That is, it requires self effort, reflection, and discipline. Very few people are willing to take it up. Most people are busy blaming the world instead of working on themselves. When you are happy, you say, I am happy because of myself. When you are sad, you do not blame yourself. You say, because of him, her, I am unhappy. Even among those who seek the truth, only a handful actually reach it. And of those who reach it, even fewer live according to that. And when we say even fewer live according to that truth, we are talking nididhyasan. That is why we have this problem. People know the name Gita, but they do not live the Gita. There is even a funny story about this. Once, a teacher asked a little boy, do you know the Gita? The child happily replied, yes. That is the name of my auntie who lives next door. He had heard the word Gita, but did not know what it really meant. And this is the situation for many of us today. We have heard of the Gita. We may even own a copy, but do we understand it? Do we live its message? Now the question comes, so what should we do? The Gita gives us a clear answer through constant learning, reflection, and sincere practice. One can certainly grow and improve. It will not happen overnight. We need to have one step forward. Even a small step in the right direction brings great blessings. You do not have to become perfect overnight. Start by understanding a little, practice a little, reflect a little. Day by day, your heart will open, your mind will become pure, and one day you will realize your true self, full of peace, wisdom, and joy. So live in the world like a wise soul. Do not get caught in the play. Be the witness. Be free. Let the word be your classroom, not your prison. Let the Gita be your guide, not just a book on your shelf. Practice with faith. Walk steadily and know that the divine is always with you, walking beside you. This is very important for you to know, not just you, all of us to know. Practice with faith, walk steadily, and know that the divine is always with you, walking beside you. This is the way. This is the teaching. This is the path. Peace. So that was our chapter 1 of unit 2. And instead of chapter 2, we will do lesson 3 today. which is superiority of human race. Today, I shall share with you a deep truth about human life. You may be knowing very well, but let us have a revision. A truth that explains why the human birth is considered so special, so rare, and so powerful. Listen carefully, for what I speak of is not mere opinion, but the wisdom passed down through saints, scriptures, and the eternal voice of the Bhagavad Gītā. Point number one, the gift of self awareness, the crown jewel of human life. Among all the creatures walking, flying, swimming, or crawling on this earth, it is only the human being who can ask, who am I? Why am I here? What is the right path? These three sentences will change your life if you try to understand what does it mean. Who am I? Why I am here in this world? What made me to come? And what is the right path for me to choose? This special ability is called self awareness. The power to look within and reflect on one's own thoughts, emotions, and actions. Animals also eat, sleep, reproduce, and die. These four functions, eating, sleeping, mating, and dying, are common to all living beings. But only a human being has the power to ask questions about life, to think about right and wrong, and to make conscious choices. This power is not a curse, it is a divine opportunity. So, now point two is self awareness brings the power to choose. Let me explain further on this point self awareness. This power of self awareness allows us to practice vivek or discrimination, the ability to separate truth from falsehood, good from bad, helpful from harmful. This is not something other creatures can do in the same way. Let me give you an example. Suppose you are working in a place where you are asked to do something dishonest. An animal would follow instinct because he does not have intellect. But you, a human being, can stop, reflect, and ask, is this the right thing to do? This inner voice, this moral compass is the proof of your higher nature. Now you see what is the difference between the human being and the animal? Self awareness is one of the most important things. Number 3 point, the many powers of being human. Let us now explore the great strengths that come from being a human being. And number one is that the power of thinking. We may not be the strongest physically. A lion is stronger, an eagle sees farther, and a cheetah runs faster. But the human brain, with its thinking power, is unmatched. We can imagine, visualize, plan, and create, from building homes to launching satellites, from composing music to writing scriptures. Human thought has transformed the world. So that was the number one strength, the power of thinking. And the second strength is the power to change the environment. Animals adapt to nature. They can't do anything. But humans adapt nature to themselves. We build shelters in icy lands, grow food in deserts, and travel across oceans. This ability to shape our surroundings is the fruit of our intelligence and willpower. The third power is over other creatures. Humans have learned to domesticate animals, grow crops, and care for or manage other species. We use animals for food, transport, and companionship. This control must be used with kindness, but it shows the extent of our unique position in creation. And the fourth power is the drive for constant improvement. Only humans strive for progress. We are not satisfied with just surviving. We want to grow, evolve, and become better. Whether it is scientific discovery, artistic creation, or spiritual pursuit, we always seek something higher. And the fifth power is the power to create societies. We form families, communities, and nations. We create rules, systems, philosophies, and cultures. Our ability to connect with one another and share knowledge makes human society rich and complex. All of these qualities stem from self awareness. But there is another side to this story. And what is that? The pain of self awareness. Just as a bright sun casts deep shadows, our gift of awareness brings its own suffering. A dog or a deer does not worry about tomorrow. but a human being does. We worry, we fear, we feel guilty, we regret, and we doubt ourselves. And why does this happen? Because we are aware of time, past, present, and future. We remember our mistakes. We imagine bad outcomes and we ask questions that don't have easy answers. Our awareness of life brings not only clarity but also confusion and pain. Let me give you a simple but very powerful example here. You have to visualize, imagine this, feel, think. Two goats are taken to the butcher. One is killed and the other continues to eat grass calmly. It does not scream or run. Why? Because it is not aware of its fate. But if a human sees a fellow being harmed, fear and sorrow rise immediately. We suffer not just physically, but emotionally and mentally. Now, another example, when a loved one dies, animals may move on quickly, but a human heart aches. We cry, we remember, and we feel the void. This is the pain of being self aware, self awareness. Number five, we have seen the power of self awareness, we have seen the pain. Now, what is the way out of this suffering then? Now, you may ask, if self awareness brings so much pain, is it a curse? No, it is not a curse. It is a divine grace. It is a doorway to the highest liberation. The Bhagavad Gītā teaches us that the human birth is the most precious because it gives us the chance to attain moksha. Now, which is, we call it freedom from all suffering. That is called moksha in general. But when we say moksha in Bhagavad Gītā or in Vedantic understanding, we are saying not coming to this world, which means away, freedom from birth, death, rebirth. Lord Krishna says, Nasti buddhir ayuktasya na chayuktasya bhavana nacha abhavyaktaha shantir ashantasya kutaha sukham. This is a verse number 66 from chapter 2. And the translation is the one who is not connected to the inner self has no steady intelligence, no peace, and no happiness. The one who is not connected to the inner self, which is pure Atman, has no steady intelligence, no peace, and no happiness. And that is the reason. Self awareness becomes a blessing. when it leads to self-realization. If we use it only to chase pleasures, we feel suffer. We will suffer. But if we turn it inward and seek true knowledge of who we are, why we suffer, and what lies beyond the body and mind, we will find deep peace. How do we use this human life wisely then? The scriptures guide us to live in dharma, righteousness, to understand karma, actions and consequences, and to realize Atman, our true self. These are not mere religious ideas. They are instructions for how to live as wise, aware human beings. Whenever you face confusion or inner struggle, do not panic. Instead, pause, reflect, and turn to the Gita, to the words of the wise, or to the silence of your own heart. Never take your human birth lightly. You are not just a body. You are not just a bundle of thoughts and emotions. You are a soul on a great journey. Your self awareness is your compass. Use it not just to analyze life, but to discover its deeper meaning. Yes, no doubt, awareness brings pain, but it also brings freedom. And that freedom is the greatest treasure. So walk the path with care, courage, and clarity. Let your awareness become your guide, and let wisdom become your strength. This is the glory, the responsibility, and the potential of the human race. Now, the next topic will be, or the point is, the path to overcoming mental suffering. Life is a journey filled with joy, sorrow, hope, and confusion. Every human being at some point asks, why do I suffer? They don't ask, why do I joy? The great scripture, the Bhagavad Gītā, provides an answer, not just through philosophy, but through deep practical guidance. So now the first point is understanding the source of mental pain. why my mind suffers. Mental suffering is not caused by the world outside. Very important point to understand. Mental suffering is not caused by the world outside, it arises from within. It is my creation from our wrong understanding of who we are. When we believe we are only this body and mind, when we define ourselves by our roles, possessions, or relationships, we suffer. The Gita teaches that this false identity must be removed through Atma Gyan, which is self knowledge. This knowledge is not ordinary. It is like sunlight that removes the darkness of confusion. It shows us that we are not the restless mind, nor the perishable body, but the eternal Atman, the soul untouched by life's storms. A common mistake, escaping rather than understanding. In modern times, many try to escape pain by turning away from responsibility, following wild desires, or pretending life is only about pleasure. But such attempts only make suffering worse. Why? Because you cannot run away from your own awareness. You carry yourself wherever you go. So instead of escaping, the wise path is to understand who you truly are. Let us see this example, the mother's grief. Imagine a mother whose son has gone missing. She is heartbroken. Her suffering is real because she believes her son is dead. Now, if she discovers that her son is alive and well, what happens? Instantly, her grief disappears. What caused the change? It is not a magic. It is just a new understanding of the truth. In the same way, when we gain spiritual knowledge, our sorrow fades, not because problems vanish. Problems are still there, but because your perspective becomes right and deep. The role of the Bhagavad Gita in our inner growth. The Bhagavad Gita is not just a book, it is a living teacher. It teaches you how to develop your intelligence so that you can decide what is right, what is wrong, face challenges with courage, and live a life of strength, peace, and but to receive this wisdom fully, certain steps are essential. And what are those steps? Number one is learn from a wise teacher. Just as you need a teacher to understand mathematics or science, you also need a spiritual guide to understand the Gita. A good teacher helps you see clearly, corrects your errors, and inspires deep understanding. Number two, study with discipline and devotion. The Gita is like a mirror for your soul, your Atman. Reading it carefully will not help. Oh, sorry. Reading it casually will not help. Once in a while, once in a month, you open one page. Okay, let me read Bhagavad Gita. So, reading it casually will not help. You must study it daily with a sincere heart, just like a student studies a precious subject with full focus, humility, and love. Bringing the Gita into daily life. Now, let us talk about how to practice these teachings in your everyday life. Number one, study every day. Set aside some quiet time daily. Read one verse, reflect on it, and write down what it means to you. Slowly, this will shape your mind and transform your heart. Your thinking process will change. Your mind perception will change. Number two, practice detachment. As the Gita says in chapter 2, verse 47, you have the right to perform your duty, but not to the fruits. Do your work sincerely, live in the present, it means, but do not cling to the results of outcomes. This helps you stay peaceful even when things go wrong. Step 3, cultivate bhakti, which is devotion. Offer your actions to the divine. When your heart is full of love for the Supreme, even simple tasks become sacred. Seek guidance. Whenever doubts arise, do not struggle alone. Go to your teacher just as a lamp lights a dark room. The teacher's words will light up your understanding, which means you are going to the teacher looking for clarifications and deep spiritual lessons from the Gita now are there are three key teachings that will deepen your path. Number one, self awareness is a divine gift. You are not just here to eat, sleep, and work. You are here to awaken your awareness and seek the truth of your own being. Transformation is necessary. If your awareness is confused, you will suffer. But if it is clear, your heart will be free. And the Gita teaches how to transform ignorance into wisdom. Follow dharma. Dharma means living in harmony with truth. When your actions follow righteousness, suffering decreases and inner peace increases. What you should practice every day? Meditation. Sit in silence for a few minutes. Watch your breathe. Watch your thoughts. Self reflection. Ask yourself, who am I beyond this body and mind? Study the Gita. Read and reflect on one verse daily. If it is not possible, take 2, 3, 4 days, no problem. Serve without expectation. Help others without asking anything in return. Very important point. Surrender. Offer all your actions and results to God with trust. So, what is the power of the self knowledge? You have a divine gift, the power to know yourself. Use it wisely. Most people are lost in their emotions, chasing desires, or running from fears. But you have the chance to wake up through the Gita. You learn to control your thoughts, act with clarity, and love without fear. You learn to rise above sorrow, to face life with calmness, and to discover the joy that lies within. And this is the promise of the Gita. What it gives you? A peaceful mind, a purposeful life, a heart full of devotion to the Lord. Walk this path with faith, discipline, and love. You will not only transform your life, but also bring light to others. This is the true way to overcome mental suffering and live with joy, strength, and divine wisdom. So, what you do not just do listening, reading. Do mananam. Whatever you have listened, whatever you have read, try to clarify, try to make sure that there is no doubt there left now. It becomes your knowledge, true knowledge. And then you start reflecting on that knowledge, which means you start living on that knowledge, nidhi dhyasan. That is the third stage. I will conclude here. Now I will go for mantra. Om Purnamadaha Purnam Idam Purnat Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnam Adaye Purnam Eva Avashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namah. Harihi Om.